moved here 2.5 years ago, and some of you guys may have noticed when we first got here, I was very angry. I was mad that I left my home, left family, business, everything, and just kind of started over. With that, sometimes it translates to a certain sort of coldness, and the weather doesn't help. And so when we got here from my, sunny Colorado, I had a lot of culture shock. And I didn't really feel like I belonged, both in Seattle and also in a church scene. A little bit about my background before moving here, I didn't have a great taste in my mouth about church or Christians or religion or God, who even is that?
So growing up, I was an undocumented immigrant, and that comes with its own challenges, but it was hard, especially for me, because growing up, it made me really angry, and it was hard to admit that to myself because that's the only emotion I knew how to define. And it's really interesting when you grow up as an undocumented immigrant because you live in this sense of survival, you live in the sense of desperation, and it brings a lot of anxiety to not know what's gonna happen next, what could happen to you, what's gonna happen to your family. And ultimately, it brings a lot of insecurity, a lot of anger, and I didn't know what to do with that.
I realized more in that year that God was calling me more than ever before. He changed my circumstances. My home was gone, my family was gone. Kalos has offered so many opportunities for me to be in rooms where the conversation is so much more than how's your day and how's the weather. We talk about real things and real past and real futures and really what's going on right now. And it has truly not only allowed me to open up, but also get to know people on such a deeper level that there's real community rooted here. And it's just been such a life change for me.
It was at the moment where I didn't know what else to do that I turned to prayer. And I think that's where God really met me, in a moment where I had nothing left and I had no more to give, that He came and said, let me help you. Anyways, okay, sorry. I think that's when God really came in, and I literally felt a moment where He reached His hand out to me and helped me up. Prayer is so powerful. It's such a beautiful moment where you can sit with God and just tell Him your feelings, share your emotions with Him, and really define what's going on in your life. And He just shows up for you and almost lifts you up, kind of like a small child, and carries you with Him. So I wanted to share this story and just give those people who have maybe these feelings of desperation and don't know where to turn to prayer.
So in this dark, dark moment of being angry, feeling lost, feeling like I don't fit in, feeling so much grief and loss of literally everything, He was right there, waiting. He was waiting for me. Actually, He was there the whole time, but He was waiting for me to look up and see Him and listen. And that's why He brought me here, and that's why it had to happen the way that it did. And to be honest with you, it's strengthened my faith more than I could ever imagine. Somebody asked me if I knew Jesus before I moved here, and I didn't know what to say because, but the growth that I've had in the last 2.5 years is just light years compared to who I was before I came here. So praise God.